ahead.
Watching some of these international superstars, it's really cool to see you go regional to a broader audience. And it's been pretty epic to watch some of these international superstars coming over to the States. Messi's arrival, of course, was no different. And being on the call for a superstar like that, being able to hear you in 12 and just go off was just a beautiful sound. What's that like to not only broadcast a match when it comes to Messi, but is there a different preparation when it comes to a superstar like that?
Yeah, it's interesting. First of all, it's a lot of pressure. There's no doubt about it, because we know that there's going to be people watching, not just in the United States now, because with Apple TV, with MLS Season Pass, we are the voice of record in the English language in 107 countries across the globe. 107 countries that have different cultures, different way. And I mean, broadcasting cultures, obviously cultures as well, but different television cultures, broadcasting cultures, different styles of calling the game. And we are doing our style here for everybody, right? So there's a lot of pressure there, and you hope that you don't mess up the moment more than anything. I knew going into that first game, if he scores any goal, it's a big moment. If he scores a great goal, it's a really big moment. I try not to think too much about that, because, you don't want to be overwhelmed, don't want to overwhelm yourself, and certainly don't want pressure to get to you. The prep, I think, a little different, because I said this before to somebody the other day. I'll compare it to, I create a player card for every player in every game that has all their bio information and their stats. And, I'll tell stories right? I'll tell them during the game, or bring some relevant stats in during the game. And I compare it to in local news. I worked in local news for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
You put a graphic on the screen identifying the speaker for everybody but the president of the United States. You don't font the president. That was the rule, because everybody knows who the president is. You don't need to put the president's name on the screen. Well, I feel like with Messi, it's kind of similar. I don't need to give these stats in his bio during a game. He's Lionel Messi. He's the greatest player of all time. What do you say? Oh, he scored 33 goals in 2014 at Barcelona. Like, you don't need to say that. You know what I mean? So for me, the prep is less that and more, okay, how are we going to cover these moments? How are we going to contextualize what him now playing for Inter Miami, now playing in North America, eventually in Major League Soccer? Of course, this is Leagues Cup, a different competition. What that means for our country and our sport in our country, what that means for Inter Miami, what that means for Major League Soccer, what that means for him, for Lionel Messi himself. And then just hope you're kind of ready for the big moments. I'm not one who scripts out goal calls. I do not believe in that at all. I think you have to live in the moment. But on the other hand, you don't want to be caught off guard, right? So you want to make sure that you are ready when that moment comes.